Every time this has been done, it's been done 3 times in the last 20 years. Every time this has been done, and you've seen the charts here, but Mr. Markey has those charts. Every time it's been done, the price of oil has come down. So it's a proven way to bring the price at the pump down. And when the price of oil comes down in a very sound, market-oriented way, we will buy oil cheaper to replace this oil that we took out and sold at a higher price and make a profit on it. So it makes all the sense in the world to do it this way. Those who oppose this are using this argument that instead of releasing the oil from the stockpile, government-owned stockpile, paid for by the consumer and the taxpayer, instead of releasing this oil to increase the supply in the market, we should be drilling more. We should be drilling in protected areas. Even the president has said that that is not any short-term fix. Everybody recognizes that if you drill, it takes 10 years to affect the price at the pump, and only about 2 cents at that. So instead of saying only drill, and get a 2% benefit 10 years from now, we're saying release the oil from this stockpile so that we can have a price at the pump result in 10 days, not 10 years. This is part of what we brought forth last week, too. Use it or lose it. Democrats support drilling. It's important for people who are in this debate to recognize that there are 68 million acres in our country which have permits and are ready to go for drilling. So we're saying to the oil companies, use it or lose it. Use your permits. Drill for oil. But don't say, I don't want to drill there where I have an environmental permit to drill. I want to go drill in some protected area, which is going to take longer for me to do, by the way. And the reason I'm not drilling so much where I'm allowed to is I don't have the equipment to do it. So let's see this for the hoax on the American people that it is. Yes, we're saying drill, use it, or lose it, and as a way to increase domestic supply. We're also saying you increase domestic supply by investing in renewable energy resources, wind, solar, biofuels, and the rest. No less a stalwart Republican than T. Boone Pickens is saying, I'm for everything. He's for wind, he's for solar, he's for natural gas, he's for alternatives to foreign oil. We must reduce our dependence on foreign oil. It is a national security issue. It is an economic issue, not only for our economy, but for the economics of America's families and for our consumers. It is an environmental health issue to reduce our dependence on fossil fuels and especially foreign oil. And it is a moral issue because this is an impact on how we preserve our planet. That's why we have so many evangelicals supporting our efforts for renewables rather than fossil fuels. So it is an important debate that we're having, because this argument that we shouldn't have oil today on the market, which will reduce the price in 10 days, but instead should be drilling where we're not allowed to and have a 2-cent saving in 10 years. Think of it. This isn't a reason. This is an excuse, and it's an excuse for a failed energy policy. It is the energy policy of the Bush administration and some of the Republicans in Congress, but not all, because many have voted in an enlightened way on these subjects. This is an excuse for their failed energy policy. These are the same people, George Bush and Dick Cheney, who brought us over $4 a gallon gasoline at the pump. And now they're saying more of the same. We're saying a new direction. And now we can drill, we can increase the supply, we can invest in renewables, we can end speculation, we can protect the consumer. And as we do all of that, including the drilling, we can do it now and we can do it right. The fastest way to help the consumer is to release the oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. Let's think of that as a government stockpile paid for by taxpayers' dollars, that a small amount can have a big impact. So I urge my colleagues to go down the same path you did before, when overwhelmingly over 300 members in the House and Senate, Democrats and Republicans alike, voted to filling the SPRO. Now let's just say there's so much in there you can spare some to help the consumer. Do it right now. With that, Mr. Speaker, I yield back the balance of my time as I urge a yes vote on this very important legislation. Again, commending Mr. Markey, Mr. Barrow, and Mr. Lamson, the author of this legislation. Thank you, Mr. Lamson, for your leadership.